You see her? She's like, really?
It's gonna roll up. Huh?
Okay. I guess we doing this.
They'll do some quick time event, but I guess she missed.
No,
Buttons. She missed the buttons and got it.
Yeah, boy. My man, and it was funny because my man stopped like he stopped like he saw her at a bar.
He did.
They're like, hey, girl. She's like, hey, what's up, girl?
He said, oh.
Hey.
He said, whoa.
Yeah, hey, girl. Hey, what you doing up in here? Hey. Double Toasted Live in Brooklyn, New York is selling very well.
Good.
Very well. If I were you, and I'm not, but if I were you, I'd get my tickets now because this one might possibly sell out.
Yeah.
We've already kind of hit halfway.
That is the New York way.
Yeah. We've already sold halfway. Mm-hmm. Halfway to selling out. We're about to fill that theater. So y'all, if I were you, I go get those tickets now by going to x1entertainment.com/double-toasted. That's going to be April 1st at the Roulette Intermediate where we were last time. And it's going to be a night of comedy, some games. I'm going to try to get that after party for you. And if you get that all access package, that all access ticket, then you will be able to get yourself front row seating we've reserved just for you. Get in early, hang out with us. Gonna get you a t-shirt that comes with everything and any other exclusives that we have, you're gonna get that too. You can also go over to dtmerch.com and get your tickets. Or you know what, while you're there, just go ahead and get some merch. I want to talk about this second episode, man, because I'm still enjoying the show. I mean, well, first of all, you know, we all kind of did a discussion on it. Didn't actually do a review. We had a conversation about it, which we did give our opinion in the middle of that conversation, but haven't heard your opinion of this yet, man. What did you think?
Well, I have not played the game. I started it a long time ago, but I couldn't get into it for whatever reason. I just couldn't do it. So I played the first half, you know, and before it went to 20 years later. So it was cool watching what I did play and see how they expanded it and how they kept a lot of faithful shots and faithful decisions from the game in the show. So I thought that was very cool. And the same way how they expounded upon certain characters that were just kind of there to fulfill a need, right? Yeah. So they were able to give them some sort of arc and, you know, have made you feel for them. So when things happen, you're like, oh, wow, I'm going to miss that character. Now, I will say now that, you know, I'm at episode 2 and I didn't get that far in the game. Now I'm just a civilian now watching the show like everybody else. Who hasn't played the game. And then I'm watching it with the fresh eyes. To me, I won't go into the second episode, but the overall feeling now I'm getting is that it's still amazing, it's still awesome, but it's still reminding me of The Walking Dead. Now, it's reminding me of Walking Dead because of even when the first couple episodes of The Walking Dead came out, it was something that was almost relatable. You know, it was so close to kind of, if something happened in the world, this is kind of how things would happen. So it gave you that feeling like, holy shit, this is scary, but I'm interested in what's happening, right? And this is the vibe I'm getting from this right now. You know, especially that first episode, just the way everything went down. Like, wow, if something was to happen like this, this is kind of how it would happen. So there's kind of a realism to it. So again, it's very much paralleling how The Walking Dead TV show is happening with The Last of Us. So with that said, from the first episode, I'm getting that same feeling. It's not a bad feeling, you know, because it's keeping me hooked for now. Yeah. Well, that's why I will agree. I will agree that the first episode is better than sex, though.
Okay, see, and that's why I want to talk about this this second episode, man, because now just one episode later, and keep in mind we got 9 episodes, right? Now, just one episode later, people are already starting to talk about, no, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Now that's kind of crazy what you did right there. We were doing good, all right? Now, I don't know about this one thing right there, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the episode in general. And yes, this will be somewhat of a spoilery discussion. So if you haven't seen that episode or if you haven't seen anything about this, you don't want to know anything, then I hate to lose you. Don't want to chase anybody away, but you might not want to watch because we will be getting to some details that will definitely spoil some things for you. Also, with this, as I said, we're going to be talking about the episode, but we are going to be focusing on that one thing that I'm not going to say that people are upset about it. People are divided on this. I don't think it's that big of a deal just yet, but it is something to bring up to say, I hope there's an explanation for it. And I hope that this isn't going to be something that we have to be concerned about for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Which I hope that's going to be the case. What's that?
It definitely makes you say, huh?
Yeah. You say, huh? I said, what the that mean? I said, what?
You just finished. Yeah. I said, huh, and you finished the sentence for me.
Yeah, you said, huh, and I said, what the
Exactly. Exactly what happened.
Ha. If I did say huh, I said ha. So critics seem to really enjoy the whole season. So I'm going to just keep this in good faith that this is nothing to worry about, which I'm not even worried about at all. But people are focused on a certain thing here. So again, for those who don't know the game or the show, and you're still sticking around, even though we told you about spoilers that are about to pop up. This is about a zombie apocalypse, but there's a unique take on the zombies here. Instead of space or, dead bodies rising, we have people who are being infected by fungi, and it takes over their brains and just turns them into raging monsters, infected monsters. You have one girl, Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, who might be the secret to saving the world, at least bringing society back. But she has to be taken to this organization across the country. And to get her there is Joel, pretty much, as he describes himself, one time a loving father, now just not a very good guy trying to survive the apocalypse the best way he can. And a bad person like him is probably just the person you need to escort this girl across this dangerous wasteland. Escorting Ellie along with Joel is, I guess, Joel's partner, perhaps lover, Tess, who also says, I'm not a very good person. Neither one of us are, but that's the way we gotta be to survive in this crazy world right now. Now, if you know the game, and now if you've seen the show, everybody knows Tess dies. In fact, a lot of people who were watching this particular episode, they were dreading that moment when they would finally get to Tess's death. Now, here's what we're going to talk about: what happens in the show versus the game, and this is where we get to that thing that people are kind of focusing on. So, in the game, we know that this world is trying to hang on to society as best as they can by having pretty much an oppressive government, and they call the FEDRA, Fedra. And in the game, Joel and Tess leave the quarantine zone, which you're not supposed to do. If you do, that's punishable by death. So they send Fedra soldiers out to find them before they get too far. And when Tess gets infected, when they run into a bunch of zombies out there, she decides to help Joel and Ellie buy some time by holding off the Fedra soldiers. And so that is how she dies in the game.
We know you're in there. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands up.
We just left her to die.
And that's where they get into some gameplay. And as you play the game, see if I can find it here. As you play the game, you actually hear, you don't see it, but you actually hear Tess being gunned down by the Federal soldiers.
How do we get out from there?
So that's how she dies in the game. Now in the show, she she blows herself up, as we all know, but not before she's sexually harassed by this horny ass zombie over here, who stops everything to go over there and just have a little makeout session with Tess. She's like, what the? She's like, really?
Like, whoa.
She's like that.
Got that Harvey Weinstein rolling up on her.
She said, well, I guess the infection didn't mess with your dick. I mean, you see her. She's like, really?
It's gonna roll up. Huh?
Okay. I guess we doing this.
Oh man, I didn't think she was gonna get tongued down by a zombie, man. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
I didn't either. I thought she was gonna push him or something, but no, she just said, well, shit, he's infected, I'm infected, might as well go out getting some. You know?
That's one way to go out, I guess.
Yeah, shit. I guess he's a match. You know, I don't yeah, I thought she was gonna push him or swipe left or some shit, you know, but
yeah, something.
No,
I thought they'll do some quick time event, but I guess she missed.
No, yeah.
She missed the buttons and got it.
Yeah, boy. My man, and it was funny because my man stopped like he stopped like he saw her at a bar.
He did.
They're like, hey, girl. He like, hey, what's up, girl?
He said, oh. Hey. He said, whoa.
Yeah, hey, girl. Hey, what you doing up in here? Hey.
Yeah. He pulled a Billy D. Hello, what do we have here?
He sure did. Let me holler at you real quick. Yeah, man. And then y'all go ahead. I'm gonna see what's up with this thing right here. Y'all go ahead. Yeah, I'll catch up with y'all in a minute.
Yeah.
Holler at my girl over here real quick. Yeah, girl, you ain't got nowhere to go.
Man, if you watch closely when he was sneaking up, I think he had like some spray he sprayed in his mouth before he
Hey, what's up? People were grossed out by this. People, of course, were very weirded out by this. Others were trying to fight. Man, this was so weird that people just start trying to find deeper meanings in this. You know,
that's what happens, man. I love those people, man. That's what happens.
Is it a metaphor for something? Is it a metaphor for Tess sacrificing herself? Is she joining the new colony while leaving humanity? Is it a metaphor for their, Joel and Tess's relationship? Some people even went as far as to say that it was very misogynistic. You know, how come, dudes die in fights and, and being all heroic or, being torn apart by the infected. Mm-hmm. And she's the one that, before she dies, she's got, dudes got to make out with her, pretty much, like I say, sexually assault her. That's what some people are saying. Okay. I will say this about that particular thought on this meaning something about Tess's and Joel's relationship, because even when I was watching it, I thought a little something about their relationship, because I did find it interesting and tragic that she loved Joel, but Joel didn't, for some reason. Like, everybody's so hardened by this new world, this new dangerous world, that Joel, who, if you know the first episode, which a lot of you did or do, that he lost his daughter. So in addition to losing his daughter and now living in this pretty much this apocalypse and this dystopian society, he's just kind of shut off his feelings, because if you feel for someone, I imagine he thinks that gets you killed. So he does. What's that?
I don't know. I may have to disagree with that one.
Well, let me show you.
I'm sorry.
Let me show you why. Because I'm not saying that he didn't love her, but he didn't want to become too attached, because even in the game, they say caring for somebody is only good for one thing, and that's getting you killed. So I believe that between not wanting to die by loving somebody or not wanting to feel that heartbreak again that he lost from his daughter, I think that, he didn't show too much affection to Tess like she showed him. And if you watch the episode, she says certain things to that effect. She says, you know what? I never asked you for anything. I never asked you to feel like I did at one time. I never asked you to return that at all.
I never ask you for anything, not to feel the way I felt, not to you shut the fuck up because I don't have time.
And I thought it was even sadder that, that I imagine Joel, he cares about Tess. I imagine that he wanted to console her in some kind of way. But I think it's sad that the moment that, she's about to go out, man, she's gone. You know what I'm saying? She's dead. Yep. And probably the last thing she wants to do is hug Joel. And being that she's infected and Joel doesn't want to get close to her anyway, she can't do it. Joel even like, bitch, get off me. Yeah, back up. which you can't blame him because, you know, she's infected. And also, he couldn't even answer the question with Ellie. When Ellie said, "Are you two a thing?" He's like, "Pass. Don't want to respond."
So, you two, like,
Pass.
You know, I found it sad that Joel has never reciprocated anything to her. Joel never, you know, showed return the emotions that she had for him. I'm sure she wished for that. And he never did. And she could never get close to him on her way out. But the one that she could get close to was this damn horny ass zombie right here. You know, that was her last, that if you really want to get down to it, that was her last bit of intimacy before she left this earth, man. Which, okay, so I found that kind of, if you want to dig deep into it, maybe that's the thing. But you said you had an opinion right there.
Well, no, I mean, I guess you could look at it that way. I saw it as her saying, to Joel that, just, I don't know, we never were able to classify what we had or, never felt the way I felt. I think he did feel that way, but he could never outright say it. You know what I mean? I think he did show it in his own way, but he just could not and did not want to say it. But because piggyback on kind of what you're saying, to say it will make it real, and then you're screwed.
Yeah,
you know
he loses somebody he loves, and then also like he's, it makes you vulnerable.
Right. Yeah, he does it and say it makes it real. So I think he did, like you said, he did love her, and I just think he never could say it.
And no, he did love her. I don't think that he did. It's not that he didn't love her. He just didn't show it. He did show it in his own ways because
that's what it was.
When she got beat up, he was the first one to say, "Who did this? Where are they? I'm gonna take care of this." Mm-hmm. No, I was never insinuating that he didn't care about her. I think he loved her. I just think that, again, he just kind of just shut off any emotion to protect himself. Both physically and emotionally and mentally. If he truly was holding back from her, that's kind of sad that she couldn't get close to him, but she got close to that. That was her dude when she left. He's like, shit, if Joel don't want you, I'll take you with your fine ass.
Yeah. Now, I would buy wholeheartedly into that if she closed her eyes, if she was into it. You know what I mean?
What into this? Oh, I don't think.
Yeah.
Do you think she was into this? I don't think she was into this.
No.
All.
I said I would buy that rationale a little bit more if she kind of like was like, oh my God, what the f-? Is like, then she would get into it. But it's like after a while, she would like close her eyes and just kind of let it take her. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would co-sign harder with that theory that you had if she actually kind of went into it, Yeah,
I have a theory about that too. About what you're saying right now.
Because she was just horrified, like, oh my God.
Oh no, she was horrified. Yeah, if she had lived, she need better help, man.
Oh no. I think they need better help before this.
You definitely gonna need some therapy after that, right? Of course, we're not making light of therapy or anybody's, mental state or anybody who needs any kind of help. First of all, let me say that this segment that we're talking about right now is sponsored by BetterHelp, as you can tell. And I want to thank them. And with BetterHelp, and well, I don't know, I'm putting it back on that, but that ain't no better help at all. Ain't not helping. I'm not helping one bit. But no. Folks, BetterHelp is cool because BetterHelp is one of the services. In this new age, it's still fairly new, this technology that we have now with the internet, trust me, in this age of the internet, it has helped to take the stigma of therapy, where it's something for people who have extreme mental problems or, this is an offensive term to some people, but, crazy, or people who are suicidal or, things of that nature. People think it's for very, very, very serious mental conditions, and is not. People therapy, as we're starting to learn, is something that we could all use just to make ourselves, just a little bit better. Make our daily lives a little bit better. Maybe, you're not going to be the best person that you are if your mind is not clear. You know, if there's something weighing heavy on your mind, maybe you're trying to be better at your job, maybe trying to be better in life, maybe trying to declutter your head so you can actually declutter your life and live in an easier space. You know, therapy is for all of that. Hey, relationship problems, or as I said, maybe you just have a lot on your mind and you just need to talk. Therapy is good for all of that. You take care of your body, why not take care of your mind? And with BetterHelp, they can definitely help you with that. As I said, BetterHelp is trying to make you be the best version of you that you can be just by helping you get a clear head. So if you're thinking about doing therapy, BetterHelp, great option. We keep telling you that. And the reason why is because unlike traditional therapy out there, it's more flexible, it's affordable, and it's entirely online. Now, I'm starting to do a lot of services online, and I can tell you that this is probably a good place to start doing therapy online also. Why? Because some people don't like sitting in front of a person. Some people, it's hard for them to get across town or get out and go, you know, and travel to an office or something like that. Also, you can, like, again, if you don't want to sit in front of a person, then you can just do phone chats. The flexibility is there for you to customize your therapy the way you want to. And if you decide to do it and the therapist that you have doesn't work out, hey, they'll easily match you with another one. No cost, free of charge, and they'll find you somebody that would definitely fit your needs. Hey, I'm telling you a lot about therapy. I've been to therapy before, so I think I'm good to speak on this. And it definitely helped me, and I think therapy could definitely help you. And a good place to start is with BetterHelp. Better place to start is with 10% off. I mean, that's what you're going to get. You get 10% off your first month if you go to betterhelp.com/doubletoasted. That's BETTERHELP.com/doubletoasted. Put that in, you're going to get 10% off your first month. So go ahead and get started with it right now. Again, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show, this segment right here. And I want to thank all of you out there always for your support. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so listen, I'm going to tell you something about this whole thing with people trying to find a deeper meaning with this. I think, again, if you want to talk about Tess's and Joe's relationship, maybe there's something there that you can get from this as a discussion centered around that. But really, it's not, I don't think it's that deep. If you really want to know why I think that they have this kiss going on, I think it was probably just a funny decision to have her do this because she's trying to buy time. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just they had to stall her somehow, because what she's going to do is she's going to, we all know that if you watch the episode, she ends up blowing up the place. And to add suspense to it, she couldn't get her lighter to work. Lighter. Let me see here to come up the sound so y'all can hear it. So she bought them the time that they needed, but to add suspense to it, and while they ran away, she needed to get her lighter to work. And so I think that zombie kiss happened there because that was just their way, their creative way of finding a way to prolong the scene. That was their creative way, just trying to make suspense right there. It was weird. Odd is crazy, but yeah, that's it's simple as that. It was just a writing decision. There was no deeper meaning other than that, I think.
Yeah, me too. I look like he was copping a feel as well.
Grabbing ass.
That's what it looked like. You see where his hands was.
You know you want this girl. You know you want. Hey, people tell me I'm a fun guy.
Taboo.
Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah.
What are you gonna say though?
Nah, I'm just saying. It didn't take me out. I'm happy that it came when it did in the show.
Yeah.
Because if that happened and went on, I'll be thinking about that the whole time, and that would probably ruin the rest of the show for me. Because overall, I did enjoy that second episode a lot. But when this showed up, I was like, wait a minute. Now I'm getting kind of pulled out of this nonsense. What is this about?
Yeah. And see, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because am I upset about it? No. It didn't bother me. I thought it was a little funny, and I did have to question it. But the reason why I'm questioning this is because I think that it brings up questions about the behavior of the infected, of the zombies here. Because they hint, I mean, if we've played the game, you know how these zombies attack, especially in certain stages. Because find the clip right here. Because they go in different stages. So you have, I believe you have the runners, and then you have the stalkers, and then you have the clickers. So the runners are the first stage, I believe. And that's what we I think that's what we saw right there.
Yeah.
Where, it's the first stage and they just attack in a very wild way. They savagely just swarm people, whoever they find, so they can just quickly spread the disease. And they hint how savage they attack in this clip right here, where, do you remember that clip where they found the dead body and the guy just was bitten all over, he's bleeding all over his face and everything?
Yeah.
What the did that?
So, if they attack that savage, because they're called runners, man, because they run up on whoever they see. So that kind of brings the question here. Why did this zombie stop? Why did this runner stop? And why did he act so calm? And as we keep seeing right here, why did he go in so slow and make it look like it was almost passionate in a way? What? Yeah. What was different here? I mean, I guess maybe you can make up some things here, like do they attack only if you run? If she was just standing there and not really making any kind of quick moves or protest, and she just kind of takes it, then can they just easily give it to you? Or is it because they can sense, or he can sense, that she's infected? And that's why he didn't attack too strong. They didn't really give a reason, and I don't think they need to. But is there a reason, or are they just riding out of convenience right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you're saying. Because at this point now, you have to figure out what is the the idiosyncrasies of how they know if you're infected, if you're not infected. Because they made a big point in this episode to say how they're all kind of connected. Right? Through, the vines and stuff like that. Now, we know that she's infected because we see the things growing in her. So I would think they would know that she's infected already. So him coming over there to do all this craziness, it wouldn't make sense for her to do that because she's already infected. Or maybe she's not infected enough. That's why he had to go there and finish the job. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Let me help you, girl. Hey, I got you.
Because in the first episode, they had a chart about how quick you're going to turn depending on where you are bitten. And the closer you are to the head, the faster you are that you turn. And she was bitten by her goddamn neck. So in a couple of minutes, she would have, do the Harlem Shake and shit, and she would have been over. So I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. And at this point now, it's up to them to write, how, this fungi and this almost like this colony, thing works now. How do you know when you're part of that colony now? Are you, when you're bit, you're in already, or do you have to fully turn now for them to recognize that, okay, you're part of this pack?
Yeah, when you're in the club, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Maven Cree wants to talk about Tess's exit. I guess she means her death scene right here. So Tess, we just got through discussing The Last of Us show. She said Tess no longer had control over most of her body. When the stalker moved in, her head didn't move at all. That's why she couldn't get the lighter to light. She was using two hands to light it at one point. Her hands, her hands were shaking because it was taken over. When she finally lit it, that was the last of her own control. Fungus merges with other fungus, even in real life. That's how it grows. And that is how it goes. That's why it did that to her. So there you go. I'm going to make sure to put that in our discussion. Thank you, Maven Cree, because you're right. It does. You said the chart, Oz, it does quickly take over when it bites you on the neck. What, it's about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So she was gone. So she was losing control of herself. So there you go. This is still a zombie show. And zombie shows and movies, man, they take liberties when they feel like it. They change the rules of the zombie behavior whenever it's convenient for them. And we've seen this done a lot of times, even with some of my favorite zombie properties out there, man. I love that Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead. You remember that? And
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, but there was one part that had everybody talking about, okay, why they do that? Because again, it got to a stage where the zombies in that movie, they were mindless, man. They were unstoppable. You know, they had no control and they just attacked head on. But they got one part where they need to buy the humans some time because they were trying to get a door open. And the zombies turned the corner. And I don't know why they stopped, but they were like, whoa, wait a minute, yo, hold on. you know what I'm saying? You remember that part?
Nah, I don't remember that.
Here, I'll show you. I got it right here.
Yeah, thank you. You did.
Fucking kill him!
See, why did they stop? You know, because they like, wait, well, shit, man, these got guns. You know, they didn't care about the guns before. They never stopped before. You know, they were they were always savage and wild, man, and feral. They never stopped to think about it, but they stopped here. And that was to, again, conveniently write and buy the humans some time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that and try to build some sort of suspense as well.
Yeah. Also, Walking Dead rules, man, because I started kind of getting out the Walking Dead when they started or didn't start defining, you know, how strong these zombies were. Because one minute they're superhuman, man. They're stronger than the uninfected. You know, Rick can't fight that off, man. Nope. I mean, and it's not just because of all the spikes on that zombie. It's because, I mean, he's strong. You know, Rick can't hang. But then there'll be other moments where the zombies start attacking and you just easily just push him out the way. Get your ass out of here. Look, he's not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I hope they establish some rules early on as well, because even when I saw that too with The Walking Dead, some, you know, you'd see some and there'd be, you know, 7 or 8 hacks, then you could take off their head or their legs. Whereas other things, you know, you punch them in the face and their face falls apart when you punch them. Yeah. They like to explain the fact that, you know, some zombies are older than others. Some are weathered than others. Some are fresher than others. Yeah, but that's something that people had to kind of put together themselves, right? It'll be better if, you know, these things came out through the show a little bit more organically. But that's my fear as well. I mean, like I said, this is starting out the way Walking Dead started out. Phenomenal. You couldn't stop talking about this show when it first came out. So it's that first season. Chef's kiss. It was great. You know, a lot of things that was happening was good. It made you want to come back and see, you know, how, you know, it made you think, how would I survive in this world? You know, what would I do? You know, it made you ask those questions about yourself. And this show was actually making me do that again, which I thought I wouldn't do. But it's making me ask those questions again. I think that's cool. I'm just, it's a concern. As it goes on further, you have to stop prolonging these trips to where these missions where you have to take this person someplace else. So something, when you get to those places, something has to happen. Okay, something happened there. Now we gotta go somewhere else to be safe. So now, is there an end in sight for this? Is this like, you know, a limited series? Is it gonna be 3 seasons and that's it? We can end this now? Or are we gonna try to go 10 years?
That's the problem with The Walking Dead. I think they just kept going when they didn't really need to, and no disrespect to it, because I love the show when it came out too. But and see, that's the weird thing with this, because we got 2 games, and I don't know if they're going to be making another. They could actually end this on season 1 and have a powerful ending. So you never played the game to the point where you finished it, and it's one of the most powerful, one of the most impactful endings in video game history, man. It's some of the best pieces of writing for entertainment, not just video games, but for anything. So if they were to end this on the first season, they got a great show to walk away from, man. You know, the main thing about this is that if you're a fan of the show, then the attention to detail is incredible on this.
The video game, you mean?
I'm sorry. If you're a fan of the video game, the attention to detail is amazing. It's incredible what they do here.
I've I've seen some comparison shots, and yeah, they really, went the distance with this. I mean, I think they had the creative director of the game as part of this. I think.
Yeah, Neil Druckmann. He's the executive producer. Yeah, no,
right.
Neil Druckmann is executive producer. He's done some of the writing on some of this. But the other thing that's really cool about this is that they went in and they said, we're going to make sure that some of the most iconic parts of the game are going to be exactly like they are in real action. The clickers being the main thing.
Yes.
Those are that's kind of almost the final form of the infected that we have here. And, when they brought those in, they made sure to get fans of the game. That the people who play the clickers, they said, your ass is not in this unless you know the game, and especially the clickers, because what happens with that is the people who played the game and love it, they know exactly how the clickers move, they know exactly their behavior, and those people definitely brought that to the show. I can tell you, the way that Joel was fighting that clicker right there, that looks like that is right out of the game, man. They attack just like that. Yeah. There's certain things that they do. Now, I'm gonna nerd out because, there's a little bit of small details that I know from the game that they made sure to get those exact tiny small details right. And the second episode showed that now that we saw more of the zombies. Like when you get to a certain stage of infection, they describe the fungi as when it starts taking you out or starts to actually transform you into something else. One of the first things that happen is it takes one of your eyes out, because you start to go blind because it takes over your whole head. And at this stage of infection, the fungi starts growing out of one of your eyes. And if you see this character right here, that's exactly what they did with that, man. All of them got that split jaw and that gap tooth when they reached that clicker form. If you saw it right here, because what happens is it grows out of your head, and as it grows out of your head, it starts to split your skull. And so like your front teeth right there gets split, and you have like these gap teeth and everything. Yeah, man, the attention to detail in this is crazy. The runners are actually not, they did make some changes here. They're like, there's no spores in the game. There were spores, and you had to put on a gas mask if you wanted to underground certain places because you couldn't run into the spore area. But here they don't do that. It's mostly infection by biting and having those damn mushroom tentacles come out your mouth.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because I read somewhere that for TV, if you have like spores can go anywhere. They're not just centralized in one area. So so it makes sense. You had to change that.
Exactly. But by doing so, they actually made some things even creepier. Like the runners are creepier here, man. Because they just lay on the ground squirming like worms or something.
Disgusting.
They're connected.
More than you know.
And they elaborate on how connected they are through the spores, like communicating with each other and making it more like a hive mind, which normally I don't like that when it comes to horror and science fiction, the hive mind way of thinking.
Easy way out.
Yeah. Well, one thing it leads to is that if you have a hive of something, there's usually one king or queen thing. And if you take that out, it takes everything out. That's not the case here. Yep. Yeah.
That's cool.
But man, the environments in here are amazing. I mean, there were points I was like, damn, this looks just like the game. And if I was across the room, I'd be thinking that I am looking at the game.
Yeah,
except it's live
CG
action.
Is fantastic here.
The environments, what's that?
I said CG is fantastic here.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is, man.
They spent a lot of money on this choice.
Did you know what the budget is on this?
No.
I don't either. I think somebody said it was over 100 million, though.
It looked like it because, they have these rooms what they use for like maybe 20 seconds. And it looks like, what I mean? It looks destroyed. I'm like, yo, this place looked like they took them hours to set this up and you only in here for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
This show got some money in it, man, because, they going through like, they going through hotel rooms and balconies and all that stuff. It's furnished and, and looks destroyed. Looks like it's been overtaken by time. Yeah. I will say the one thing about this episode that I love were the quiet parts of the episode. When they're sneaking by, they can't say anything. You know, they're talking and communicating other ways to try to make sure that, you know, nobody's saying anything. And it really built up the suspense, you know, and the horror of it all. Because you're like, oh God, don't say nothing. Little girl, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? And I thought that was really, really well done.
No, it
really
was, acted, man.
The way they did that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. No, it was definitely well acted. That because you were talking about the suspense in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had see if I can find that. Because they had that part where, you know, with the clickers, man, where they're walking around.
Oh yeah, no, man. You maybe put up that same thing I'm thinking about when he was trying to reload his gun.
Oh, let me see.
It was because the way they set the shot up was like you saw the zombie like to his left, to his right. And then the camera just shifted over to him. Like, oh, shit. Is this thing going to be right up on him? I don't know. While he's reloading his gun, trying to be quiet. It was crazy. You see how the camera's panning in?
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Hello? Yeah.
It's just freaky, man. Freaky.
You're right. That's a great scene. Great scene.
Yeah.
Oh, now, but you know what? They continue to still do very well by these characters, man. You know, because I'm looking at what they do with Ellie and Joel, because they can make Ellie extremely annoying, man.
Right.
You know, because she's you know, she's a little smart ass. But and normally that would get on my nerves with a child character, but I don't think she's annoying, man. I think actually I love the way that they're starting to build up the relationship with her and Joel, man. I think her little smart ass comments, you know, getting to him and him having to play the straight man here, it just kind of it's actually kind of enjoyable to watch, man. It's really funny.
I didn't know how to swim.
Seriously? I mean,
I didn't know how I was supposed to know that.
You know, I'm just the way they're setting that up is makes me want to see more of their interaction down the line, man. And of course, they're going to end up being close. He's going to see her as a daughter, but I like that very subtly, I like that they're starting to show him having feelings for her, but he's fighting it. Like if you don't, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. Like, you know, there's points where he has to help her up. He grabs her and he quickly like kind of pushes her off because he doesn't want to have any feelings for anyone.
Yeah.
Get your ass off me.
Get your filthy hands off me.
Yo, man, how can we miss the frog playing piano?
Oh.
I thought that was a little funny, man.
Goddamn Michigan J Frog at it again. Huh?
Jumps out the scene, puts on a top hat.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling. I'm ragtime girl.
Yeah, man. Overall, listen, it might seem like I'm complaining or nitpicking about things. Not at all, man. I think it's still a brilliant show. I think it's still doing some amazing things. And I think that whatever we don't have answered yet, those things that we were talking about, like the behavior of the zombies, I think those things are going to be answered somewhere down the line, or maybe not answered at all and don't need to be.
Yeah, I mean, same. I'm not saying this show is bad or is headed to any place it's terrible. No, I'm just seeing a lot of parallels between this and, you know, a zombie show that came before it. Now, I will say, seeing scenes later on, I'm like, get the different camps and different factions. Like, okay.
They do that in the game. And, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And something else, he's like, yeah, that's why I put that shit down. And something that they've done that I appreciate before we go is, you know, I love that there's parts that they've added that were not in the game at all.
Right.
When this opens up, they open up in Indonesia with a professor that might have some insight about the infection. Right. That was not in the game at all.
That's how well acted it is. It's like you see the desperation. You see the whole shit. It's over. There's nothing we could do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The hopelessness. You know, in this, it's like, God damn, there's nothing you could do. It's over.
Yeah, they had that scene where they asked her what to do, and she's like, shit, blow it up. Just bomb it all. Yeah. You played the game, you're already familiar with these characters, you know this world. But it seems like this that builds upon this world even more.
Yes.
And adds to the experience and builds on this world that we know already. So yeah, man, it's great. I think they again, great balance of pleasing the fans and also pleasing the people who have not seen the show at all. The game at all.
Yeah, absolutely right. Like I said, I'm not trying to bring any of my Walking Dead baggage to this at all. I'm just taking it episode by episode. These 2 episodes were fantastic. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yep. Hey, brother, that's all we can do, man. Live day by day.
Day by diggity
episode by iggity episode.
There it is.